What's good, everybody? It's Amon-Rellik, the God Slayer. Amon-Rellik Gaming. We're back in more Final Fantasy 14. Let's finish up this area here we're in. We got Gratier with us, and how to say? Ooh. Okay, Gratier seems to be eager to bowl fear away. Already mentioned that I've yet to meet Sid. All right. Oh, we're running. How sweet. We're gonna keep them waiting. It's an elegant tech. For news, Tutorial contacted Sid on our behalf. He's on his way here. The Alliance Council. Recent events in Garlemald. Oh yeah, with Xenos, boy. According to intelligence from our Dorman allies, the war of succession rages on, and the Empire remains without a leader. Amidst the chaos, the Imperial legions in the province have begun to move independently of the land. Of greatest concern to us is the third, a legion aligned with Lord Nerva. It appears they've received substantial backing from House Brutus. Brutus, aren't they the ones who took in Yotsuyu and Asai? This bodes well. Xenos' movements, meanwhile, remain shrouded in mystery. We're hoping that Tancred and Urianger will be able to shed some light on his activities. Until such time as they do, the Allied leaders feel it will be unwise to interfere in the conflict. And so, thanks in part to the Imperial withdrawal from Giblet, they have decided to turn their attention to the primal problem once more. Open dialogue and explore new avenues for peace. With their respective houses in order ahead of a decisive clash. The Omensans in particular struggle in their efforts, and Alfno and Istola have been called upon to aid them. No amount of dialogue will avail us. Anything is possible. We must succeed. Why not make yourselves comfortable at Donald's respite? I'll show Sid in as soon as he arrives. Dawn's respite. Forgive us for not coming to see you sooner, my friend. As you may have heard, had our hands full. In our defense, you are up rather early. I was under the impression you'd be slumbering a while longer. Well, I would have been had you not fulfilled your promise. I still struggle with that idea. From where I stand, the secrets of traversing time and space seem exactly as unfathomable as they ever did. But if an alternative version of myself has already laid them bare, I dare say that frees me up to concentrate on other endeavors. Speaking of which, you wanted my help with something, was it? A treatment for tempering. And for the next step, you need to find the password to this Allianz report. Or canary a clue to guide us. We could be here forever and still not guess correctly. And thus we turn to you. I love to say that we could help you, so I will. Once suitably configured, a Magitech terminal should make short work of identifying the password. I knew I could rely on you. Now, anticipating that it might be of use, I took the liberty of borrowing a tombstone from Ramros. It contains an elegant dictionary. I transfer the information to a terminal and set it to work. That's what is freedom. Honest, Your Highness. I would, my lady. Huh. Freedom. Opening report. This report seeks to provide an overview of the mechanism by which icons corrupt and bind men to their will. The phenomenon we call corruption refers to the alteration of the aether of the soul. Said aether ordinarily exists in equilibrium, no one element being more predominant than another. But when a subject is exposed to the aether of an icon, this changes. their soul taking on the properties of the entity in question. By way of an example, exposure to the ether of the fiend Sephiroth would cause the subject's ether to become aligned with the element of earth. As a consequence, the subject would attain heightened affinity with earth aspect magics, as well as preternatural levels of endurance. Repeated exposure would further enhance these traits, ultimately altering the subject's very flesh. The changes undergone by the subject are not solely attributable to elemental alignment, however. Further testing has determined that the subject's soul becomes umbrally charged or static during the process. Stagnant. This stagnation of the soul has the effect of diluting the sense of self, rendering the subject vulnerable to the will of the icon, the thoughts of whom come to consume their entire existence. In this manner do the corrupted become worshippers of the icon, their prayers serving to further power the entity. Having discerned the mechanism of iconic corruption, my colleagues and I set out to develop a material capable of shielding one from its effects. An endeavor in which we were successful, albeit at a great cost. In the course of testing, many of my assistants, good men and women all, fell victim to corruption. And in accordance with protocol, they were summarily put to death. I subsequently submitted a proposal to investigate potential cures for corruption, but it was rejected, deemed non-essential by Lord Amon. Though I knew it would be fruitless, I protested the decision. And for my impertinence, I have been stripped of rank and title and will shortly be expelled from this facility. In all likelihood, this report will be expunged from the archives. Nonetheless, I record it in the hope that one day someone will undertake to do that which I could not, and find the cure for the victims of iconic corruption. End recording. So not even the Alligans were able to find a cure, or rather, were not given the chance to do so. One cannot help but wonder what motivated Lord Amon's decision. More importantly, this confirms that stagnation of the soul is indeed the problem, and Angelo can remedy that. True, yet we were simply to reanimate a tempered soul. I fear it would do not but to diminish the individual's fanatic faith. Indeed, it may well intensify it. Now, we would somehow need to suppress the primal's hold over the subject at the same time, or risk them ever remaining its thrall. Yeah, if we can make them remember who they were. Of course, memory transference. The process has the effect of compartmentalizing memories, separating them into manageable bundles, if you will. To achieve selective reanimation. That is, limit the effects to only those memories that existed prior to tempering. Through thus restoring the sense of self, we could theoretically theoretically drowned out the incitements of false faith which had come to dominate the individual's thoughts. I see, the theory seems sound. And our experience treating the light corrupted would help us to identify suitable memories for reanimation. But are you confident you can adapt memory transference as required? I seem to recall your attempts to do so while trying to bring us home culminated in literal bloodletting. They did, you are right. Despite my best efforts, I could not recreate the mechanism, and I concede that the rather clumsy compromise I reached would not provide the basis for a cure. Then perhaps it's better that we consider another approach. Your doubts are understandable, but this time I believe we have reason to be confident. You see, nodes such as this were built with the ability to stimulate magics, which leads me to believe that it may be capable to perform simulations of the transference technique. If so, we will be able to conduct years of worth of testing within the space of a few days. In theory, it will be no different than from how we identified the password, but it'll take more calculating power, a lot more. I honestly couldn't say whether our equipment would be up to the task. Tell me, Sid, why do you suppose Owen locked his report behind the password? To keep it from prying eyes, of course. Why else? Wait, a password that could be guessed by anyone with leisure, and a dictionary wouldn't keep it from a person minded to look. No, he wanted his report to be seen by those who strive for freedom. Neat. Not unlike the members of a certain distinguished engineering collective. I believe their motto was freedom through technology, or some such. You too. Round up as many Magitech terminals as you can find and bring them to the workshop. Right away, Chief. Things are about to get very busy. Luckily, we have you to help, eh? Sid. Right, while Gratia and I configured the terminals, I wanted the rest of you to procure supplies. Namely, cerulean to fuel the terminals and ice shards to keep them cool. The more we have of both, the better. Leave the ice shards to me. I'll round up some adventurers and go on a gathering spree. In that case, I'll trust Amon-Rellik with the cerulean. Here's a promissory note for each of you. Take them to the Sky Steel Manufactory and Ishgard and the ceruleum processing plant in Thanalan. The people there will give you what we need. Yours is a well-known face in the Holy See, I believe. If it's all the same to you, I'll head to Thanalan. Let's go. We're headed back to our hometown. We're headed back to our home of Ishgard. You stand in the Sky Steel Manufactory. What is it you require? So you're after ceruleum. In that case, please present the note to our engineer at the airship landing. He will be glad to assist you. Ictium Astralicum. Okay. So this one we got a lot of technobabble. Yeah, a lot of technobabble going on. Truly, you come to the right man. Fair warning though, the price has shot up on account of the uncertainty with the Empire. So I hope you got the coin. Oh no, a promissory note from the Ironworks. Don't see many of these. Not that it's a problem. It's as good as gold to me.
My friend! After the disappointment of not seeing you in Alamigo, what good fortune to chance upon you here of all places. As you may have heard, the Allied nations are making a renewed effort to address the primal problem. To that end, have I invited the chieftain of the Vanu to Ishgard, that we might together plot a course. Since the war with the Empire appears to be nearing its conclusion, I would also like to call upon Estinian's lance. Alas, he is, as ever, a difficult man to find. I am informed he recently paid a visit to the Rising Stones. Should he happen to do so again, be sure to pass on my regards, won't you? But tell me, what business brings you to our fair city this day? A cure for tempering. You never cease to amaze me. Until now, our only hope has been prevention, our every failure irrevocable. But this would rewrite the rules of engagement. It could end the cycle of bloodshed. Very well. You shall have all the ceruleum we can provide, and an airship with which to transport it. In this matter, you may count on Ishgard's full support.
Well, that was nice, and Emmerich was cool as hell with that about that. So you can have all the ceruleum you want. We'll even give you a ship to get it back. I'm off to learn how to kill the temper, guys. Damn. You set up shop that fast. Damn.
Who would have thought ceruleum weighed so much? Serves me right for being stubborn, I suppose. I should have just done what you did and accepted help.
Good work, you two. This is all we asked for and more. Quite a lot more now that I look at it. Lord Amon-Rellik, eh? And entirely by chance. Ha! Some people have all the luck.
We have also succeeded in configuring the terminals, thanks in no small part to our able assistant.
It's been a while, hero. You seem surprised to see me. Lest you misunderstand, I've no interest in such things as cures for tempering. But if you mean to achieve that which eluded even the storied Allagans, it seemed plain that you would require my expertise. And so it proved. Is that not right, Garland?
Yo, after all of this shit, he's still trying to compete with Sid.
Ask Jessie. She was the one who hired you. All I know is you're an employee of the Ironworks now, so you'll bloody well earn your keep.
That wasn't the only reason I agreed to cooperate. I'm reliably informed that Garland and I are destined to unravel the secrets of travel, not only across dimensions, but through time.
Damn.
Doubtless the lion's share of the credit lies with me. 9 parts to Garland's 1. And this research will be a stepping stone to that illustrious achievement.
Very well then. I'll do 1/10 of the work. Just the part that's beyond you.
Whatever you say, Garland.
Right. If everyone's ready, let's begin.
They still at each other's throats. Hey, they going in with the tech for real though.
All appears to be in order. Now, we just have to wait for it to find us our magic. Why not take this opportunity to put your feet up? This may take a while. Damn it. It's overloading.
Chief! She won't last much longer!
We'll have to shut it down.
Wait! We're close! So very close!
Oh.
Well, this is going swimmingly.
Please, a moment longer. I beg you. There! No. I was able to memorize the magic before it faded. It still needs to be put to the proof, but I believe we have our cure.
It's just as well. She'll never run again.
The fault is mine. I'm sorry.
Don't be. It may fall short of dimension hopping, but a cure for tempering is not to be sniffed at. This, my friend, is a world-changing discovery. One we're proud to have had a hand in. A few Magitech terminals are a pittance to pay.
Thank you.
Well, we've done what we can. The rest is up to you.
Them elegant eyes allow him to remember shit. All right, let's we're at 30 minutes, so we'll go ahead and end it here. And the next one, guys, we'll see what Forget Us Not has to offer. Thanks, guys, for watching. If you like this series and if you like the channel, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out.